Welcome to the E-Show with Neil Ravin. With over 1,000 NCAA commitments, the EHL is the proven path to college. Turn it up and learn more about the college placement leader at the Division II and III levels.
Welcome to the E-Show, presented by the Penalty Box Foundation. The Foundation's mission centers around their daily motto, we take care of our own, as they help out all of those within the hockey community who've experienced a catastrophic event. Learn more at penaltyboxfoundation.org. Once again, my name is Neil Ravin. This is episode number 38 of the E-Show, and let's welcome in the E-Crew by wishing Jeff Mills a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jeff.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Britt. Love you both. Good to be here on my birthday.
Neil, you literally forgot to unmute anything.
I unmuted you both.
No, literally it literally just said you have been muted by the host. So everyone, I'm trying to be muted. We've started 30 seconds ago.
I'm trying to cut out the background noise when I'm trying to read my ad read. Don't worry, Brittany. When we get to your ad read, I'm going to make sure to be saying blah, 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 blah the entire time while you're reading.
Honestly, that's okay.
Brittany's first ad read, for those of you that didn't listen to our preview podcast.
No, you don't need to listen. You don't
week.
need to listen. You don't.
She was a little geeked out. You know, Britt gets a little nervous with those kind of things, but she did well. She's going to go again today, and she's going to do well again.
Wait, that's actually very good use of the word geeked out. I'm impressed.
We aren't talking too much about these on air, Jeff, but there is a slight cheers to you and your birthday pod.
Woo!
So,
cheers, kids.
Recording this Wednesday night, releasing it on Thursday. Thursday, of course, September 24th marks the 7th day of the EHL season. Feels like it may take us 300 days to get through this season, but we're going to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen.
We have to play hockey in July. We'll play hockey in July. The NHL's showing you they can do it.
Exactly. The NHL is doing it. We can do it.
Yes, we can.
There's been like a few days in a row where I've gone to bed at midnight, woken up at 6 a.m., which is probably not healthy, especially in this time.
Oh, it's great.
We're getting through it.
It's great.
It's okay. We're trying our very best. You know what? Rise and grind, folks.
That sounds like the recipe for success, Neil. For success.
The best thing, and we'll talk about this as we get into the Around the E-Show. Hockey is back, at least. I think the first thing I said to you, Jeff, when we started that broadcast on Friday, it was 191 days in between when our season got canceled on March 12th to when we called that game on September 18th. We literally went over half a calendar year without a hockey game. And that's as long
math.
as it's been. Thank you.
Says the kindergarten teacher. She tells you.
Oh my gosh.
1 plus 1 is 2.
She's not teaching math at kindergarten. But regardless, we've never
it's trace and letters, but
we've never had a break like that in the past, right? Because typically we go until the end of March or so, and then we usually, in past years, we started closer to the beginning of September. There were 2 reasons why we started a little bit later this year. The first reason being it always takes our teams. They want more time for training camp, right? I know right. Jerry Domish isn't here now, but Jerry would have 5 preseason games and then play an actual game. So I said, why don't we just start later, guys? That was reason number 1. Brittany, can you guess what reason number 2 was? Why do we not start the weekend before, maybe or 2 weekends before?
Chris Sorella wasn't ready.
Well, I got married. That's not Chris.
Sorry.
Neil got married.
I got married, so we got to push.
Oh yeah.
Damn you, Neil.
I don't know who's more dramatic, Neil or Chris.
That's fine.
Oh, Neil's definitely
Chris.
Less dramatic.
You know what's funny is
what?
Even though
I'm not dramatic. I don't even know that word is not a personality trait for
you.
me.
No,
even though the word dramatic is in a way condescending and it's an award that you wouldn't want. If Chris wasn't awarded it, he would be offended, right? He wants every award, every single award.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I love going to see him after the game the other day was the best. Just being in that room. We're all messed up. We were all safe talking, and Chris was pretty heated, just getting angry about life stuff. And I missed it. I missed as Rich DiCaprio said, this is our second family. It is. It's our second family, and it's great to see everyone back and doing their, funny things in the coaches' room after games. It was great. It was
Jeff.
fun.
I'm still bitter I wasn't.
We are too, Britt. Did you go back and listen to the broadcast? Hear my shout out?
No, you did text me that you did say I unfortunately the free time is like a little limited. Haven't gotten to rewatch it. Neil, you can't even trash me for that. Thank you.
It was a great game. Holy heck. I know we'll get into it.
We're going to get to that in a second. The only last thing I wanted to say about Chris is today he called me 3 times in a row.
Ew, I would have declined them.
Left a voicemail on the second one, and then I call him
Wow.
back, and I'm like, Chris, what's up? Not much.
Raven, what's up?
Chris, you just call me 3 Buddy, I'm trying to reschedule games here and there. Maine just allowed Massachusetts residents in.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Breaking news.
What's up? Is there something following the what's up, or is it just what's up? I'm doing nothing. Are you doing nothing? Because I'm not doing nothing right now.
I just wanted to bother you. How you doing, Raven? How's married life? How's Vicky?
Literally.
How's Nash?
So with that, Jeff, let's start talking about, or let's go our way around the E show and discuss the 2-0 New Hampshire Avalanche.
It's time for this week's segment of Around the E Show.
And Around the E Show, fans, is brought to you by the Junior Hockey Podcast, your home for junior hockey news, knowledge, and nonsense. Check them out at tjhpodcast.com.
And the season started, as we mentioned. We'll start with the EHL. There's only been 7 games so far, and the number is honestly surprising to me because it feels like we've played 20. Maybe it's the amount of work that we've done to play those 7 games. But let's be honest, the best game, Jeff, was arguably the game that we called.
I don't know if we had something to do with it. I don't know if we sprinkled a bit of our good juju, but I know me and Neil not to toot our own horns, but we were in mid-season form for 2 people that haven't done play-by-play in color and we haven't done a game together. Actually, we haven't done a game together since not March, the previous March.
Right?
But it felt good. And the coaches gave us some compliments and stuff,
It's like riding a bike.
It is. It's like riding a bike. We've worked with each other for a long time now. And, man, that game was something else. It started out a little slow, each team trying to figure each other out and not make mistakes. And then as we got going, that thing just had it was a crime that game, not to totally, we'll dissect it a little bit, but it ended in a way that I wish it didn't end. We'll just say that.
And I meant to show you a text. I got so many texts during the game, right? Because we had college coaches there and watching. All the other teams.
That was a good turnout.
All the other teams in the league watching. I interviewed Kyle Wallach in between periods.
You did?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a gem.
I mean, Brittany, you got to go back and watch the game. Anyways.
It was worth it. Better than a Netflix show you can watch for a couple hours.
I meant to show Jeff the text, but I forgot to show you the one that said, all right, Neil, we get it. You golf. You don't need to talk about it on the broadcast.
I'm screaming. Who said that?
Was it Justin?
It was
Justin usually chirps in with the main comments, but that was what I picked
Literally.
up.
Yes,
oh my God! Wait, who was it?
It was a coach in the league. I will not expose.
Come on, expose.
But,
wait, was it north or south? Come on, hint.
It was south. But anyways, we will. That was one of 3 games.
It was Josh Fresco.
We've had a game each day.
Oh, it was.
We had some EHLP games in there as well. It wasn't the only game that wasn't decided in regulation. The Apple Core Pro Tech Ducks, they had 2 excellent games back and forth. Actually, both at Sono, I should say. Pro Tech also 2-0. They won a game in overtime. And I guess for me, the best part about the first 7 games is take away 1 or 2. They've all been close so far.
Yeah.
But 2 or 3 goals each. Maybe a couple of that really went to overtime or a shootout like the game that we called. Take away a couple, of course. But the teams are a little bit rusty, yes. But we're back. The parity level is back. The competition level is back. And I'll tell you what, as tough as that New England Conference was last year, it'll be even tougher this year.
I just can't wait to see a Walpole and a Seahawks game.
Are they rivals?
Yes. I vote yes.
I asked Cody
I think Bill would say yes, and Cody's like, I don't know.
It's because Xana Beauty, as we like to call Britt, has been around in the EHL a couple. He's been in the league, what, 2 extra
3
years than Cody?
This is his
This
fourth
is
year.
This is his 4th year. Cody's been in 1, so he's going into year 2. Right.
Yeah.
Wait, so is that what? Am I correct? Did
Yeah,
Cody say
Cody
a little bit of like Rays Red Sox to him, right? Like
yeah,
the Rays
like,
are still a newer expansion team, been around 20 years, I guess now, but they kind of have that like, yeah, you're in the same conference and you kind of,
we hate you, but not like hate. We'll fight you like once every 10 times, but not like really hard. Because it's like a friendly rivalry, if you will.
It's not a PLF Avs.
No. That one has...
It's not a PLF Rev.
Well, yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P.
I was like, PLF Avs, that was like... That was a heck of a rivalry. That was some good, healthy hate right there.
I think that's a December showcase matchup, Jeff. So.
It was. It was from last year, too.
Well, I'm saying this coming up.
This year.
So.
Yes.
Jeff wants that one.
I'm sniping that. I'll call Jeff Hagan in Hockey TV.
Hey, I got that game.
Hey, Jeff, 3 months from now, I'm having this game on this rink 2. Yep, I'll be there. All right.
It's so funny for me what's changed in a week, because at this time last week, Maine could play everybody in the league in their home state, checking in everything, except for the state of Massachusetts, which, of course, contains 6 of our 18 teams, which fractions, Brittany. That's a third.
No. Sorry, couldn't do that.
And at this time last week, Pennsylvania could play games, but 5 on the bench, 5 on the ice, 10 in the locker room, and the goalie. Now we can get the capacity level is higher, because what's so funny, Ayla said this to me. He goes, do you realize that up until they just made the changes, they were actually allowed to have more people in the pub/restaurant in the rink there, right? Than any of the 4 sheets. Like, we're talking about a sheet of ice with stands and everything versus a restaurant that's just a restaurant, right? Like, all restaurants are the same size, basically. It's just, it is what it is, right? But both of those states have opened up, and knock on wood, cases are going to come as the season goes on. And how our teams handle that and how we handle that as a league is going to be key, because if we can keep all of our teams going, because like that's been the coolest thing, or not the coolest thing, that's the wrong word for it, but I've watched the MLB closely, right? Like the MLB is struggling to get teams like the Miami Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals caught up because they had to miss so many games, right? If we can keep everybody somewhere on the same level, even if there's a shutdown here or there and these rinks start to open back up, not for nothing, but we could finish at the end of March. Not saying we have to, but we could.
I'm all for extending it.
Right.
I'm all for extending it. It's April, May.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't cut into golf season, right, Jeff?
Oh my God.
You can still. I know. I got back out there this weekend. It was like right after we talked. I got the itch. Called a couple of buddies. Went golfing. And had ourselves a day in Norwood, my hometown. Of course.
Norwood, go Mustangs!
Go Mustangs!
Jeff, I will say these on the golf course, fantastic.
Oh, deadly. I had some Trulies. I had some Trulies myself, Commissioner Ravin, on. Yep, there you go, Brett. Little plug there. I had some Trulies myself on Saturday. They were going down quite well. They hydrate you a little bit. There's a little bit of water in them.
So, Opening thoughts. We're not even going to entertain Frozen Finals picks right now.
Oh, no, God, please, for the love of Jesus Christ.
But, opening thoughts. The Avalanche look to me the same way they do every year at this time. Not that that sounds bad, but it's just like they just wear you down.
They're consistent.
And
They're
it's
consistent.
Like, who is the top player on this team? I don't even know, but they just wear you down. And then all of a sudden you look up and the third period's ending and you're losing or you're tied. And they're in every game. He's going to have a chance to get points in every single game. And on top of that, the Rangers, what I found fascinating, I don't know the behind-the-scenes story, but Malin Drukolo doesn't play in the first game.
That was shocking.
He didn't?
There may have been an injury or something like that, but he was like all last year was like Johnny Malin Drukolo, number 1 in the EHLP.
Right, he was like the Connor McDavid coming up.
Ryan Bailey was Rich's best player on Friday. hands down.
That's crazy. And he was in Johnny Malinjuku's, I mean, I don't say this in a rude way, but like in his shadow, like all of last year. And then he comes out and he's the one of the two of them to play. And I mean, as we know, I did not watch it, but I looked at the score sheet. It's like Ryan Bailey. And it's like, okay, good transition from the P to the E. Like, go off.
Mm-hmm. And he stood out more than just the goals too, right? You know, he was always involved. He was in on the forecheck, the back check. He was one of those players that was involved in all three zones, like a Chris Aarons, if you will, of the Rangers. He was he was in all three zones. He was bothering people. He was putting pucks in the net. He was doing all the good things, and you know that's what helped them get into overtime, into the shootout. Unfortunately, they didn't come out with the win, but yeah, he looked unbelievable.
But Brandy said the perfect word there. She said that he was in his shadow. He put up 100 points. Like
literally 100 points.
100 points.
Like,
the most quiet 100 points you could possibly put up is from Ryan Bailey.
Just because somebody else on your team puts up 112, it's still 100 points. It's still 3 different digits. And I asked Rich, he did confirm it's about 2 inches or so or height, but it makes a difference when you grow like 2 inches in the offseason.
That's true. I was going to say, you pointed that out in the game. I don't remember it. Like, I only called a couple of his games last year when we had the January showcase in Worcester, so I don't remember him that well. But yeah, you, Neil, everybody know that very well, and you said that it looked like he just had like a Barry Bonds type growth spurt, and all of a sudden it's just like, hey, coach, I'm here. Like, whoa, what's up there, Ryan? You sound a little different, look a little different.
Well, Jeff, when you're 5'8" like myself, everyone's taller than you. So,
oh my God.
But it was, for me, it's like you watch that game and you see the Rangers Avalanche, 2 teams that we knew going into it, right? Preseason power rankings 1 and 3. Like, all right, like these are gonna be top contenders. Maybe like you never know how they're gonna compare to different years. I mean, Brittany and I went into it for an hour afterwards. It felt like going over all of the previous Avalanche players in the locker in the
oh my God, I am the queen, dude. The first year Avalanche roster, I can fire it off like if there's nobody's business. The most useless information. Don't need to know the number of Jarrett Slayer, number 8 from the first year, but like here I am. I know it. Come on, fire me off one. Go. Please don't make it a difficult one.
Don't make it a difficult one.
I don't know. Give it mediocre. Go. So, I don't want to get it.
Let me go back on my phone and look at interviews.
This is James Zanka.
So, but
Zanka.
What's funny about that, Jeff, is like now that was how many years ago, right? And you remember that still to this day because of who that team became and who they were. We have no idea what this year's team will be. We may find out in a week that the Express, the Seahawks, the Lumberjacks, you name it, are all better than those 2 teams, right?
Right.
You said on the broadcast, Jeff, you never had any idea who these teams are going to be. But to kick off the season with a 4-3 shootout game, I couldn't ask for anything better because where those matchups will go from this point, you know, the sky is the limit, right? And they weren't the only games. You also had the Chiefs on opening day put up 7 against the Rough Riders. Which,
how about that? Huh?
That's an awesome start for them. There's a number of different players from other teams that have gone to the Chiefs, a lot of Philadelphia Revolution players that have transitioned over to the Chiefs. I'm still a little bit annoyed with both of you that I put a Chewbacca gif. I don't even do gifs. And I put a Chewbacca gif in the group text. Not a single person responded. What is that?
I think you did it while we were like just before we were about to go on. I saw it and I was like, that's funny. But then I was like, all right, I'm still trying to like center myself, learn these names. We just went over pronunciations. Like you said,
all right, we need to address it.
Sides. I was like, all right, so we'll go back. Right?
What's his actual name?
Oh,
Michael Kubachka.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so Chewbacca, a.k.a. Kubachka, was on the Rev for the past 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he
2 years he was on it. He does. He's literally huge and blonde hair. Like, huge. Okay. Like, he's literally so tall.
He's a big kid.
Was he on the P team for the Rev, though?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He played some time at both, yes.
All right.
Right, so then he went over.
I don't remember him as much the big team, but...
Then he went over to the Chiefs, and I just saw his name, and I was like, oh, my Chewbacca. Look who it is, people. It's crazy.
And
I need to
also,
quit with these names. I really do.
also on opening night was the Wolves and the Eclipse, a 5-2 win for the Wolves. The second day, we had just the Avalanche and the Eclipse, which was only a 2-0 game for the Avalanche till the third period. Nikita Primak, I know he gave up 6 at the end of the day, but the kid was excellent in that for the Eclipse.
The amount of shots that kid, what did we say it was, 70 or something?
I think he had
ridiculous.
almost 70.
Oh, he had a Thomas Walker-like day? Is that what he had?
Oh, my God. I'm
Thomas.
screaming.
Anytime anyone gets peppered now, it's like, oh, you're Thomas Walker. Okay.
I'm literally Kyle Wallach. Hey, hi, how are you? I hope he likes
Thomas Walker, who just stood on his head to get the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights to the Frozen Finals.
Did he ever?
I guess you could say 2 years ago because it was the last one that we had. That's the funniest thing.
That feels so weird.
It bothers Rich so much, Jeff, that Crystal has the playoff championship trophy. Not that Rich would have guaranteed won it, but technically Chris can still have it because he's the last one that won it.
He didn't lose it.
Oh, man. It bothers him beyond belief. And it's
I could actually see those two go out to be like, I didn't lose it. Be like, but you didn't gain it. But I didn't lose it. But you didn't gain it. But I didn't lose it.
They could go back and forth about it for 5 hours.
Yes. But, like, the best part about them is, like, until the puck drops, they're, like,
they're best friends.
And then the puck drops and it's like, I want to beat you. And no, I want to beat you. And it's like, relax, guys. Just relax for a second. Like,
and found out that Tuminous was a Ranger, and then
yes, I told you about that one.
No nameplate for Mr. Tuminous, but
he just got there. So
got there like 5 minutes before the game.
It's for me though. It feels like hockey season now that we obviously started. It feels even more like hockey season as these temperatures start to drop. Because we walked out of that game on Friday, and I was like,
"It's warm.
It is hot. Like this is a little bit too warm." And you saw it a little bit in the ice, right? The puck was bouncing a little bit here and there, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna pick things up. As everyone knows, we're gonna get to the fantasy, but we didn't. The picks all roll over because there's so many teams that haven't even played yet.
It's kind of crazy. It's like, it's going to get heated, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Wait till we get into fantasy. I have a few words to say.
I like that. Oh,
that's a soft tease.
I literally have quite a few words to say, which it has to do with my sweatshirt. Not that you people can see my sweatshirt, but you'll find out soon enough.
Okay, Britt. Okay. I feel you. All right. I'm excited for that.
But then,
my new version of this is supposed to come next week. I did order another one.
Oh, I just found my Wolves
Neil
jersey,
tells me. Neil literally says, "Do not buy any more sweatshirts because that's all my closet is." But I had to do it. I had to.
There's a difference between want and need in this world, Jeff.
I don't know the difference. I don't. I really don't.
But that
likes her swag.
That ProTech Applecore series, as we said, overtime the first day, a 7-4 win for the Ducks the second day, a big win for the 87s earlier today, Wednesday. By the time this podcast drops, we're going right into an Avalanche Express game, and like things just don't slow down. Like we literally have a game in this league, in the EHL at least, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, through the end of the month and right into October. Now, we don't have like the busy day with like 4 or 5 games, if you will, early on in the year, but we have consistent action, and a lot of games are taking place in New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. But I did have a fun week working to reschedule that Railers and Lumberjacks. That was a 2-game series. Like, so as much as
what's happening?
Give us a scoop.
Give us a tea.
So it's not even the fact that the players would have had to wear masks or not wear masks and where that rule stood if they went to.
It's the county thing, blah, blah, blah.
The Vermont, you can only come without quarantining if your county, the cases per county, is less than 400 per million. And for Worcester, it's not really a small county. So they didn't pass. The following weekend, Walpole wasn't going to pass. The Rangers right now wouldn't pass. Does that change in a week? No, but one thing that we have to factor in is like the numbers come out every Friday, and these sets where they play 2 EHL, 2 EHLP, like those are Saturday, Sunday, back to back to back weekends. you can't really wait till Friday to determine Saturday, Sunday.
No.
You can't wake up and be like, hey, am I going to Vermont tomorrow? And
Literally. It's not down the street.
Let me just get in. I'll be there in 5.
Meanwhile, Vermont hotels are like, are you coming to look at the leaves or play hockey? It's like, doesn't matter. Here's the price of your hotel. It's like, whoa. Okay, I don't know if I can handle that right now. So the Worcester Walpole EHL teams are playing at the Ice Den on Friday and Saturday. And the
Icy Den action.
And the EHLP teams are playing in Exeter. So
against the Jacks.
The Railers and Jacks. So I just added 2 games to my broadcast schedule out of nowhere. Friday and Saturday.
Wait, you said it's one of them's on Saturday. What time?
7:30.
Oh, I have to be in Conway. You're welcome, Rich. We can't all be me.
So the Rangers are facing the Maine Eclipse, Rangers home game in New Hampshire. And, like, this is where, like, for those listening at home, this is how we have to get games done. Like,
at least for the first couple months.
It's tough. It's frustrating. And I'm sure you want to play in your home building. I mean, just ask Rich, right? Maybe I'll tweet the video. Rich's team last year could not play home games when it wasn't in their home building, right? So they played the Chiefs in Stoneham, and it was a closer game than Rich would have preferred. And Rich snapped his clipboard.
I
remember that.
Dude, that was iconic. That was top 5. Dude,
that was like that was right after I filled in for you when they played at Stoneham against the Railers, and it was like a 13-7 win for the Rangers.
That was the game.
Like baseball game.
That was the game when you texted me and said a touchdown, extra point, field goal versus a touchdown, extra point. It's like
literally, it was like shoot, score, shoot, scores, shoot, score. Like, what the heck is going on here? Jeez.
But
oh my God, the clipboard! I forgot about the clipboard.
We're working. We're just working week to week because that's all we can do right now. This stuff changes every week. You know, I feel bad for Team Maryland because they cannot play in their home building. Their home building is strict in saying that, like, if you're not coming from within the state of Maryland, you can't come play games in this rink. Fine, some of your youth is not affected, but we only got one EHL team in the state of Maryland still. Last time I checked.
Good thing that man owns like 5 ranks.
Yes, Marie Gunty is the owner. So, and
that's the name. Brittany has
and they're playing in other ranks. So that's what we're doing. We're just working through.
Hey, at least these people have options, though. At least they can't do anything about it.
And the key word in all of this is partners, right? Like, does it benefit Mario that people are buying his ice to play games? Of course it does, but it's not like Mario saying, it sucks that you have to buy ice from me. I'm going to charge $1,000 an hour and really profit off of this one. No, we're making it work because if the shoe was on a different foot, how would the Avalanche feel having to buy ice from teams in Massachusetts? Now, that being said, if I had to pick my states, the one that had 6 teams in it as opposed to 3, I probably would say, can I have the state with 6 teams being able to play games?
That would be a little better for all of us.
A little bit easier, right? Just a tiny bit easier. But
there are a lot of games and a lot of different sheets.
We're doing what we can. Like that Rangers Lumberjacks was supposed to be EHLP, EHL Friday night in Vermont, EHLP Saturday, no EHL on Saturday. So just a 3-game swing, right? They're coming down all in one day, October 2nd, EHLP at 11 and 2:40 on one sheet in Exeter, EHL on the other one at 12 o'clock. So we're going to come in. We're going to get rid of 3 games. It's going to hit about 3:30 in the afternoon. Everybody get out. We're done. It's like, that's what you got to do, though. And I hope that for our players at home, they understand that we're doing this first and foremost for them because, you know, I'm sure when it came to your sports growing up for each of you, you can only practice for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Gets old.
It just doesn't accomplish anything at a certain point, right? That's the biggest thing is, yeah, exactly. You can practice all you want, but until you actually get in game shape, and I think we saw that the other day, right, Neil? The Rangers and the Avs in the third period, they looked gassed. They both looked, but like we said, rightfully so. These kids have been off for the longest times they've ever been off skates in their entire lives. So their endurance levels, their, they're taking contact for the first time since last spring. Like, that's going to tire you out pretty quick. You're a human. It's going to happen. If you're not getting into it, on a regular basis like they're used to, you're gonna get gassed. And luckily, the 3-on-3 5-minute overtime gave them like a bit of fake energy that took them to the shootout and was able to let them finish. But
isn't it weird that like sometimes in overtime, one team just like dominates possession,
like the Avs did, the Rangers.
But then the Rangers get like a golden chance, and it's like you may get outshot in this overtime 8-1, but that one was really good.
All you need is 5 seconds of time on attack to just end it and be like, "Yep, all right. You may have had the puck for 3.5 out of the 5 minutes, but we took it in for 20 seconds, scored, and we're done."
It's like, and that's what I try and tell people was what makes hockey special, because there's no version of sudden death like hockey, right? Yes, you can have overtime in this sport or that sport, but the clock is stopped and then the play starts. Like, you build up to it. The way that this sport transitions, you can go up the ice. There can be a bounce here or there. Don't ask the Little Flyers about their double overtime loss to the Junior Flyers in the finals a few years ago. It could be a bounce from anywhere, and it goes in, right? Alo is not going to like that one, Brittany.
Alo, I didn't say it. Alo, I don't need it. I don't need the sass. That was not me. That was Neil.
I don't need it.
I'm excited to see that team get underway, because I did a story. God, all the days are blending together. Was it yesterday or day before of all the players that have climbed the ladder up from the EHLP to the EHL and on to college hockey, right? And
oh my gosh, I love this.
The number of kids that are playing in the EHL this year that played in the EHLP last year, especially the number of Little Flyers, was like 8 of them or 9 of them. Like,
yes, go off, kids. Luke Hedman. Sorry,
what is the total number, Neil? You have an exact number?
I will pull up the story. Hold, please.
There we go.
The team that has the highest, as we can say, conversion rate would be none other than the New England Wolves. Just a quick plug for Andrew Trimble. Hey, hi, how are ya?
Yeah, their premier team has been great. Think about that. Their premier team and their EHL teams have been great for the last few years. So if your farm system's good, it'll work its way up.
All right, Neil, let's hear the number.
And the Wolves have 6 kids that went just from their EHLP team to their EHL team. They also have a number of players that played on their EHLP team that are now playing for different EHL teams. As I say, anywhere where I go for this league, if you don't have a spot with this organization, they'll find something for you with another organization within the league, right? Because these guys want to keep you in our league. They don't want to see you go to a different league, because they know that ultimately, whether you're here or you're over there, you're going to work your way up the ladder, and you're going to go to college hockey. And even though it doesn't fall under their category for the NCAA commitments, it falls under the entire league's commitments, which, as of today, 1165, that's as a league, As much as one team wants to say, we contributed the most to those 1,165. It took a lot of teams together to work on that. But the Wolves, as I mentioned, there's 6 right there. The Little Flyers have 7 just themselves going from EHLP to EHL. So those guys, it's funny because, like, Jeff and I are saying to each other, we don't know any of these kids, right, on the Rangers or Avalanche.
Those guys, Oliver Quinn.
Yeah,
the Wolves last year started in the Avalanche. I was like, "Oh, Quinny, all right, kid, what's up?"
And some of these kids we know that are moving up, but we've already recognized once on this podcast the jump is significant, and it's not something that you just show up at the next level and it's snap on a finger, it's done. Look at
Malandruklo, like you said, he didn't even get in the first game. Everyone thought that was a shoe, and he could almost scored 60 goals last year.
Who was I going to say? Mason Emhoff. Look at his stats, right? He lit it up in the EHLP, went and played in a different league for a year, then came back to the EHL, and at first it was tough. It was a tough transition. Then after a while, got his bearings and put up points, not at the same rate, because it's hard to put up points at the same rate at each level, of course, but put up points just the same way that he did, at the premier level, and it's a long year.
And now he's at Manhattanville, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that is correct.
Again, I'm trying my best. We can't all be me. It's hard. It's hard. That's been my new saying. No, that's my new saying is we can't all be me. Like, we just can't. And that's fine. It's okay.
Brittany, those are very hard and fancy shoes to fill, my friend. Hard and fancy shoes.
Yeah, Doc Martens. You ever fill them?
Anyone knows Brittany's wardrobe. She was a fashion major.
Oh, I popped off. I mean, I went to a fashion school, wasn't a fashion major. I popped off Saturday, low key though. What?
What did you major in? I thought you were
Sports communications. I was like the one broad in the whole program.
Duh.
Anyways, in the EHLP,
not about my life.
There was a shootout win for the Express over the Wolves as well. That was the opening day for them, which was not Friday. That was Saturday. A shootout win for the Chiefs versus Renegades. Talk about two wild games. Renegades went and played 2 games up in Connecticut. Won 3-2 the first one, lost the second one 7-6 in a shootout. So
yikes, Cliff!
A
couple of runs in the bottom of the 9th let the Chiefs get over the Renegades.
But as you would say, there was a touchdown with an extra point, and unfortunately the other team scored a touchdown, but they put their extra point off the
Nick Folked it. You know?
Oh my god!
Yikes!
Hey, it's a trip at his own football team, so it works out just fine.
Oh god.
And this just in. I have gotten a text from Chris. I'm
breaking news.
Do we need a sound effect?
Wait, folks at home, you can't see this, but I'm hollering.
Oh, what the heck is that?
This is just now. Okay.
That looks like there's still sunlight, though. That was from earlier.
8:16 p.m. at the sun. Oh, Sea Dog. Thanks, bud. Nothing like a Sea Dog text.
Simmering.
Nothing. Anyway, so moving on. What
our coaches have plenty of personality in this league.
I would say so. Not even the coaches, the staff. We all have a little bit of pizzazz, if you would.
You have to get along with this group. That's for sure.
You're gonna stick. Yeah. If you're back for multiple years, you'll know why. If you're not, you'll know why.
Right. Well, if not, sorry, but you can't hang.
Sorry you couldn't click with this crazy clan of peeps.
Right.
Not sorry. It's great to have games underway again, I should say, and more coming. The number of changes here and there. The only thing I can say to everyone that has reached out is I appreciate the patience, especially the parents at home understanding that, this is pay-to-play junior hockey, and we're doing everything that we can to make the best of this season and make the games happen. There's so much going on right now. There's so many different things that people are going through, right? And, we haven't talked too much about leagues that we compete with in this league, but one of them is the USPHL, and middle of this past week, I get given news on Ryan Frew, who used to coach in this league, and understanding what he's going through and sick in a hospital right now. It's just like I feel so bad for him and his family first and foremost, and it's just like be grateful for every second that you have right now, because you don't know what the next day holds, right? Like that took place Thursday for him, where he just felt sick. Like you wake up, you cough once, you feel like you get a sore throat, this or that. Like you kind of shake it off, you just do whatever. Like he didn't think it was right, went to the hospital, and he's been in the hospital ever since then, right? And it's like enjoy every game that you have, because you never know how many are going to actually even play this year. Kyle Wallach said it himself in the interview I had with him in between periods, right? I said, how much in-person recruiting are you going to do to start the year? And he goes, I'm going to get a lot of it done early on, because I don't know how much there's going to be.
Right.
You have no idea how this virus is going to turn. You have no idea what states are going to stay open, what states aren't. So it's just a matter of everyone doing the best that they can and doing their part and enjoying the moment, right? Enjoy the moment is what they always say. Huge Zach Brown fan myself. Enjoy the ride, right? Enjoy the ride, because you never know how long it's going to last.
Good mention, Neil. That's a very good point to bring up. Ryan Frew is awesome. Love that guy to pieces as a person, as a coach. We've all worked with him. Ryan was a coach for the Monarchs when they were in the EHL for years. I still work with him when I do games over in the USPHL. I see him a lot. I just saw him last spring, and that kind of shook me up when I was texting with you the other day, and you see everybody was posting pictures of him, and I was like, what's going on? And then I got the report from you, and our prayers, our thoughts, anybody in the Monarchs family or anyone in the junior hockey community that knows Ryan, he's an awesome guy. He's got a family. He's an awesome dude, and we love him. We hope that he gets better sooner rather than later.
And it's just like, it makes me realize, like, enjoy every day that we have this season because you don't know when it's going to stop. Just like last year, we had no idea
2 weeks before
that was coming, right? Like,
no clue.
Like, the other day, I had 5 boxes get dropped off, and this year's All-Star jerseys.
Ew! Those are gross. Can you show the red one, please? Can I see the red? Red's my favorite
color. Are those the ones you sent us a picture of the other day, Neil? Or
yes. I need to see the red right now.
Wait, Brittany, you don't like those?
Well, I don't
want to. No, ew is good. Jesus Christ, Jeff.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't want to take it out of the nicely packed bag.
Do you have mine?
Where's the one that says heart?
No. I want 21. I have a gray 21 from last year. Where's my 21?
21 heart?
You guys got jerseys in blue, white, gray, and red, and I want 21 in all of them.
No, I want 21 red. Did you get it for me?
I have to go through my files.
Wait, when we pick the rosters, can I select who wears my jersey?
I wouldn't call it your jersey still.
It's mine.
But regardless, maybe. Anyways, like, maybe that's the only event that we get to this year, right? But we're gonna.
Oh gosh, no,
we're gonna enjoy that. We're gonna enjoy the hell out of it as best as we can because you never know what's gonna happen to
can
us.
We bowl?
To the. Can we what?
Bowl.
Sure.
No, remember last year at All-Star Weekend we bowled.
Again. Let's go through axes.
Oh, that was. Oh God. No, come on. Can we seriously bowl though?
I don't know if that's a very good activity.
Oh wait,
COVID.
true. That's a lot of touching of objects that
unless every time before you touch the bowling ball, you drop it into a bucket full of sanitizer. And
that's something you would definitely do. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I definitely would. Bowl of Lysol spray
just spray it like this.
I guess bowling is not COVID appropriate.
Anyways, maybe we'll see. We'll think about it. That's over. Okay. That's not till November though. We got to get through September, October, first.
Hey, we're almost
through September.
Oh, yes, and it's only been a few games, but a number of points have been scored, and I think this is a good time to transition into what we've done so far in fantasy. As I mentioned, we did our first set of picks this past week. We aren't making more picks because not many teams have played so far. We've only had so many teams play so far. So let's start making our way, or not making our way, I should say. I just messed up our 2 segments, right? Let's make sure we go to what to watch for in the EHL.
Before we wrap things up, here's what to watch for this week in the E-Show.
So I think our favorite time of what to watch for in the E-Show is our fantasy. So it's time for the E-Crew Fantasy Challenge, brought to you by Bertucci's Brick Oven Pizza and Pasta, your home for authentic Italian dishes, catering, and group dining. Check out their pizza parties and specials at bertuccis.com.
And Kyle wanted to come on, and I said we're not making more picks this week, so we'll have you back on next week for your next set of picks. That was one reason. The second reason, screw you, Kyle. You just started. How do you already have 20 points so far?
Whoa. It's literally annoying. I'm annoyed.
And
he does? I thought I was in the...
Dude, Brady Patricia lit it up like there was no... Oh, don't start about assists being taken away. That's a topic happened for a few minutes.
Neil, I thought that was a 1-1 there. I went back to the box score, only saw a 1 and a 0.
Let's go one person at a time. We'll start with the leader, which is Kyle with 20 points, 18 of which have come from Braden Patricia. And it's not surprising.
Insider information.
Of all the players that were eligible to return to the EHL, he was tied for first amongst points for with 55 last year. And he goes out, scores 3 goals, gets 4 assists, and a game-winning goal in the first 2 games against the Apple Corps, and it's just like, boom.
It's so rude.
And he hasn't even touched Mason Palmer yet, who starts tomorrow against the Avalanche, and then James Gregory in 2 games just has a single assist. So 20 points done. Moving on, we go to Jeff. Yes, Jeff, I didn't know how to break this news to you. There was an assist taken away by Chris. It was not me. Chris sent it in.
Oh, what?
Yes, Chris sent
Oh,
it
so
in.
I'm gonna beef with Sorella. Okay.
Yes, and he said that he had an assist there, and I said, Chris, like, I'm watching the same thing you are, and he goes, yeah, I don't even see 7 on the ice. So I was like, yeah.
Typical Avalanche.
But, Jeff, you can say this. Malco with 2 goals and an assist in his first 2 games. Kevin Bite, shout out Andrew Trimble, great tweet, tagging us, acknowledging the fantasy challenge.
Love that.
Picked up a goal in his first game.
Sure
You're the
did.
only guy so far, Jeff, that actually has a goalie that has started and won a game so far. John Kopak stopping 16 of 17 shots today for the 87s and winning their first game. So
Johnny on the spot.
You're at 17.2. Kyle,
Ooh,
then
okay.
you. I will say this for Brittany and I. We still have a lot of players that are just getting going.
That's fine.
Because I have Dante Terramani, that is, who has got 3 assists, one of which came on the power
He literally
play.
didn't, but I mean, whatever. Well, again, oh my god.
All emails cleared out and current stats in, pending further video review.
Literally, I'm gonna cut it. No, people, this is oh my god. All right, listen up. No, I can't watch every second of this game, unfortunately, like I would like to. But with that being said, did Cal Coel have an assist? No. No, he didn't. I can tell you that for free of charge. Free. You don't even have to pay me. He got no assist. None. I'm not even joking you. Like, Jesus.
As of the recording of this podcast, as someone is extremely passionate about their fantasy performance in week 1, which will be week 1 of like 30. Anyways, I have 3. I have 3 assists, including one.
Also, shut up. Tim DeBoard.
Wow. Episode
Tim
2 of the
DeBoard
season.
had 3 assists today, not 2. You know what?
Ooh.
You know what, Neil? When all 9, because the 87s did light it up, roll 7s, when all 9 of these come in from Instat, I would love to review them on a Zoom call with Adam Hooley and Maddie Kiernan. I would love to. I would love nothing more, honestly.
Someone's
fired up.
Hey, Jeff, let's go back about 35 minutes about drama.
I'm not dramatic.
How can we use as like good and not good?
Anyways, as I continue to try and finish what I've been trying to say, as of this minute, what is on the website and maybe or maybe not needs to be corrected gives me 9 points in fantasy and Brittany 9 points in fantasy.
Oh, you guys are tied.
Brittany hasn't had Tristan Hadley play yet.
You're in the boat.
I have not had David Raduzzi play yet for me in goal. There's still a number of games left. The one thing that scares me for us 3 is Braden Patricia still has more games to play here.
Dude, that's literally whack. How many more?
Somebody take him out. Just kidding.
Literally. Serious inquiries only. Please let me know if you want to be my... No, I can't say that.
All right, so we don't wish ill upon anybody, but I want to say, Braden, take a breath, buddy. It's going to be a marathon.
Braden,
we may be playing in July. You may want to get scratched for a couple of games. You might want to just take a little bit off, save some.
Right. Have a seat on the bench. Let some other people have a turn. Let some other people score some goals. Just sit down. Sit down.
Number 1, those ProTech jerseys are fresh as beep. And number 2, are they this year's New Hampshire Avalanche ? Mansion team first year. Can they create the magic? Ooh.
So funny, Jeff. Terry texted me and was like, not for nothing, but are we the first expansion team to win our first game?
No.
And he sends me the text and I'm like, Terry,
sadly no.
I don't want to be like a jerk, but no.
Yeah, but it's the best expansion team known to mankind.
No, the Avalanche won theirs too. It's a good start in a long year, right?
Yeah.
All I can say I can say is this, Brittany. If for some reason there are assists that are taken away from individuals who I have picked and given to individuals who you have picked, and regardless of all of that, if I finish in last this week and therefore I have the first pick in fantasy next week. My forward, folks, is Braden Patricia. Okay,
I was gonna say, that's
you can
gonna be
lock
any
that
of
in
us.
right now.
I think we're all going to be jumping for him next week. Whoever gets first pick.
I kind of admire I didn't pick Artem. Artem's been lighting it up. Maybe not lighting it up, but
I like
Artem did
Bonapane
well.
too. Bonapane, the old warrior, he's doing well. Kai Yasuda, another one I always liked.
K, it's not Kai, it's K,
Or
like
K,
the letter in
sorry.
the alphabet.
Sorry.
God, Jeff.
Getting the COVID rust off.
Come
Go
on.
through my pronunciation guide. Can we come up with that
Roll
EHL pronunciation guide? We should have done that during freaking March and April, Neil. We talked about that last year, remember?
I was a little bit too depressed during those months.
I know.
Wait, can we acknowledge the fact that Neil, I mean, not Neil, Jeff. Remember Jonathan Gabriel, like the tall.
Very tall.
He's on sevens now.
Really?
Yes, I see. Yes, he is.
Speaking
you can't
of
miss
tall,
him.
have you seen the richest lineup? Everybody, I've mentioned this during the broadcast. His decor, everybody's like 6'2", 6'4", 6'5". That
So
Buckner
Mitchell
kid,
Haight has been cloned many times.
Yeah, Rich has gotten a big team this year. He just got a bunch of guys through some Miracle Grow on him in the offseason season.
I mean, I'm screaming.
He's got some big dudes. He's got a lineup. His forwards, too. That Buckner kid was on the fourth line. I think he's 6'5". Like man-children out there. It's like, geez. Good Lord.
And
they're huge.
we're naming so many returning players, right, that have put up points so far. The best part about having a week of fantasy under our belts, but by the time our next picks come, there are so many names who we still don't really know.
No.
But I don't know who Jason Gordon is for the Connecticut Chiefs, but he had a hat trick.
Yeah, like who are you? Oh, you know what? I looked up his elite prospects. He played U18 somewhere last year. Damn it, I can't remember.
Not the only.
I think it could have been. I think he literally could have played like Chiefs U18s.
Could be looking at the next Ascanio. You don't know, Yeah.
You're
looking at the next Buffalo line. You can, there's a lot of guys out there.
And it's going to make our next set of picks interesting whenever that comes around.
Right, we have to be determined.
But no, it'll be next week.
Oh, dude, he played Monarchs U18s last year.
There's a lot of Monarchs. Which one?
New Hampshire Monarchs?
Oh, sorry. Yes, New Hampshire Monarchs. This Jason Gordon character played.
He was in movies.
This
Superman.
path he took. He played for my boy Mark Latito, North Jersey Astro Wild. Then he played Hitman and also Jersey. Then we just love the states that begin with the word new, supposedly. So he went to the New Hampshire Monarchs, nice in Connecticut. Wow.
That is bio. I only play for teams that start off with new.
Unless and then because we are in New England, so that technically will count Connecticut. So now that everyone knows Jason Gordon's elite prospects page,
Connecticut is included in New England.
That's what I just said.
Well, okay.
That's true.
Anyways, upcoming games to finish out our fantasy. We mentioned Avalanche versus Express on Thursday. The day that this podcast is dropping at the Ice Den. That's kind of a nice one-game start to what is a busy final stretch here. 87's Rough Riders again. Seahawks Spartans, a game that Brittany will be watching very closely on Friday at 1:30. Expected to have Tristan Hadley in net for that one. We have
Bill, don't screw it up for me, please.
Oh, Neil is Coach Campbell staying at your residence tonight since he's in the Ice Den tomorrow? I mean, he could have little golf, could have slept over.
No.
Oh my God, a slumby with cold charcuterie.
We are not having a slumby.
Damn it!
I have a 1-year-old dog, and he has a 1-year-old child.
So,
right.
To take care of. Hey, there you go.
We have different versions of offspring to take care of.
There you go.
Anyways, Saturday, Warriors get underway against the Wolves. Rangers and Eclipse face off. They've already had games so far this year, but that's their first ever matchup. Yes, you will. Lumberjacks and Railers, those are their first games of the year. Wizards and Spartans, their first game of the year. You flash forward to Sunday, Lumberjacks and Railers again. Chiefs and Wolves each have played. Ducks versus Maryland. That's going to be Maryland's first games on Sunday and Monday. Another 2-game set for the Ducks, who just played 2 up in Connecticut against the Apple Corps. Now they go down for 2 down to Maryland against Team Maryland. Sunday and Monday, as I mentioned. Tuesday, you got the Little Flyers getting their season started. And then, of course, Wednesday the 30th, we got the Railers, Spartans, Seahawks, Wolves. So by the time we get back on this podcast, everyone will have played at least one game in the EHL. At least one. For the
We're
Ducks,
going to have lots to chat.
they'll have played 4 games already, which is a good start to getting to 46. The one question I have had from some parents here in the early ongoings of the season is, you keep saying 46 games, 46 games, 46 games. I count 44 on everyone's schedule. That's because soon to be announced, I guess we can kind of tease it a little bit now.
Ooh,
we'll be announcing the Next Level Hockey crossover series, which as of December 31st, I'm going to take the standings in each conference and match up 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, all the way down. Of course, there are 10 teams in the New England Conference as opposed to 8 in the Mid-Atlantic Conference. So once you get 8-8, then 9-10 play each other as opposed to 9-9. Makes sense. The idea being each matchup will play a 2-game series at a rink definitely to be determined, because who knows where we'll be in February.
Maybe playing on the moon by then. Who knows?
But it's a chance to get more cross-conference games, taken care of, because those are the ones that, not for nothing, we love Avalanche Rangers, we love Avalanche Lumberjacks, and you Express Seahawks, and you name it. But when you get a chance to face a team that you don't face as often,
Right.
you see a different speed, a different level of play, and you name it. 87s, maybe.
87s Jacks in the
series.
January showcase. That was dope.
They are also supposed to play in January, I think, in Vermont. So when we get closer, we'll get warmed up for our Frozen Finals picks by giving our hopes and predictions for the crossover series, who we want to see face each other, because there are some matchups that you just don't think about as much that you'd love to see more of. Last year the Wizards and Little Flyers faced off in an overtime game, I want to say, and that was the very first game the year before in the Frozen Finals, and people forget because those Frozen Finals were all about the Little Flyers and the Avalanche, is what everyone says. That first game was 4-3 Little Flyers over Wizards. Like, if that game
Why do I not remember that?
It was the very, very first game of the finals. If that game goes differently, maybe you're looking at an all New England Conference championship game. It's possible. So I'm excited about this crossover series because it's one of those things that we only have 2 showcases during the year. So we said to ourselves, what else can we do? We kind of have to have another form of a showcase, which is all about showcasing and showing off our talent in different ways than we do during the regular season. So we'll make a formal announcement about that probably when the matchups become a little bit clearer and we know exactly when it's taking place, because the last thing that we want to do is I guess maybe it's my OCD. I'm sure Brittany would attest to this. It would pain me to announce something and then say, yeah, remember that date I gave you? It's actually this date. That's just...
Yeah, Jesus, take with the wheel. That would end poorly for a while.
Actually, with the All-Star Series, that's kind of a de facto showcase. We kind of have 3 this year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I'm fired up for that. Fired up. Sorry.
I am too. I'm really excited for that. I was talking about that via text with you the other day. That's going to be...
We got to get one more game in October, Jeff, right? One in September, one in October, November. We're ready to go.
We're going.
Jeff, guess what? I get to... Neil's letting me do color.
Oh, my...
At the Den, obviously.
When is this?
November 14th, the day after my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Happy early birthday to the queen.
Right. We'll acknowledge your birthday because it is today, and then we'll handle mine when the day comes. But yeah, right, Neil, I have announced it. There's no going back now.
November 13th, you said? Or no, 14th.
Well, that's my real birthday, but the 14th is the day of the game.
Really? So it's Avs versus who?
Vermont.
Oh, God. This is going to be all Letty Arena drops and stuff. And it's in Vermont? Where is it?
No, it's at the Den.
Oh, it's at the Den. They just said that.
Neil's pissed right now, everybody. He's heated.
I might have to go up for that game.
It's going to be iconic.
We'll talk. I don't want to make Brittany nervous, but That could be fun to watch.
Yeah, well, Jeff, we'll have you be the ice reporter in that game.
Oh, me and Brick can
We'll
switch
switch.
roles. All right.
Can
I like
Fun.
can Jeff borrow your gigantic Canada Goose jacket for that game?
Yeah, of
I think I might
course.
rip that thing right to shreds.
Well,
You can
you'll
try
Hulk
it out.
You'll Hulk it
That's
and just snap.
No,
it
don't Hulk my $800 jacket for the love of God.
Like, so, Quinny, how's things going? Shh. Oh, sorry. Just ripped the jacket. Hold on. Let me move it a second.
And to put a bow in the golf talk, Jeff, a jacket that's more expensive than my driver. Let's just acknowledge that.
Whoa. How much was that jacket?
She
Rip?
just
Is
said
that-
800.
Oh, 800? Oh, jeez. When hosts aren't listening.
It's
When
made of
hosts
coyote, so
aren't
I hope none
listening.
of you are vegan.
800 smackaroonies.
Mhm.
No, and you were giving Neil crap for the $500 driver. So she was just like, I already bought an $800 Canada Goose jacket. Oh.
It's worth it. It's worth
Don't
it.
worry, Jeff. She has got a vest
Worth
too. Anyways, all
Worth
right.
it. Oh, the vest too. Yep.
And
Oh, yeah.
that does it for number
And that
38.
wraps
Right? But we got more games on the schedule this week, both in the EHL and the EHLP. As I mentioned, you take out a few games where the score got a little bit lopsided in the third period. A lot of great action to start the year in both divisions. By the time we get back on this podcast next week, everybody will have played a game, which I feel good now that hockey's back. I'll feel even better by that point, because then at that point, like, yeah, that was like your mic drops from the past year.
Seriously, though. Vicky, it's okay, girlie.
Yeah, it's fine. We don't need to cut out that noise by any means. But like I was saying, by this time next week, I'll feel even better knowing that every team at least has a game checked off of their list, which is one in a long list of what we got to get through this year. But as we've said, all of us on this podcast, we're going to do everything we can to make sure this season happens in its complete form, even if it takes us rolling over fully in the next year and going all the way till next August.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Happy
Summer
first
hockey.
week,
Let's call
people.
it. Happy first
All right,
week.
guys. Enjoy the games this week. Enjoy whatever games you're calling, Jeff. Enjoy the games that you're scorekeeping, Brittany. And for those folks at home that want to have the latest schedule, make sure to visit easternhockeyleague.org and pay very, very close attention to the venue column for all the games. Have a great week,
real.
guys.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to The E-Show. Learn more at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when next week's podcast is released.